Once upon a time, in the heart of a lush green jungle lived a mighty lion. This lion was huge, fierce and powerful. His roar was like thunder, and his presence commanded respect and fear from all the animals in the jungle. But despite his strength, the lion had a weakness, and that was his overflowing pride. He believed he was better than all the other animals, that he was the king of the jungle and no one else mattered. One day, while the lion was taking a stroll through the jungle, he came across a tiny ant colony. He saw the ants working together, carrying crumbs many times their size back to their nest. The lion was impressed by their teamwork and thought to himself, "If only I had such strength and unity among my pride, we would be unstoppable." But his pride wouldn't allow him to admit it. Instead, he let out a loud humph, which made the ants stop their work and look up at him. The lion bent down and said, "What are you tiny creatures doing? You're so small and weak. It's pathetic to see you struggling to carry those crumbs." The ants were scared. But one little ant, an ant who had never seen a lion before and didn't know how dangerous he was, stood up and said, "We may be small, but we are strong. And what we lack in size, we make up for in teamwork. We help each other, and together we can do great things." The lion laughed, a deep, booming laugh that shook the ground beneath their feet. "You talk a big game, little ant, but I can crush you with my paw without even trying. You should be more afraid of me. Respect me. I am the king of the jungle." As the lion spoke, he took a step closer to the ants, his massive paws making the ground tremble. The ants were terrified, but the little ant who had spoken up earlier stood his ground. He was just a tiny ant facing a fearsome lion, yet he wasn't backing down. "You may be the king of the jungle," the little ant said, "but that doesn't make you stronger than us. We may be smaller, but we're not weaker. I may be just one ant, but I'm part of something bigger, something stronger than any one of us could ever be alone." The lion was taken aback by the ant's words. No one had ever dared to challenge him, let alone a tiny ant. Curiosity replaced his anger. He wanted to see if this little ant was as brave as he claimed. "All right, little ant," the lion said, his voice softer now. "Prove it to me. Show me what you can do." With that, the lion stepped back and watched as the ants got back to work, carrying their crumbs back to their nest. They worked together, lifting and pulling, and soon they had formed a small but sturdy tower of crumbs. The lion was impressed. He had seen them work before, but this was something different. They had actually built something. "That's enough," the lion said. "I've seen what I needed to. You are indeed strong. Little ant, I underestimated you." The lion was about to leave when the little ant stopped him. "Wait, mighty lion, why don't you join us? Work with us. Together we can build something even greater." The lion paused. He had never been asked to work with anyone, let alone an ant. But there was something about the ant's words that intrigued him. "Why would I do that?" the lion asked. "You are so tiny and weak. What could I possibly learn from you?" The little ant smiled. "More than you think, mighty lion. You see, we may be small, but we are agile and quick. We can get into places you can't even dream of. We are also strong in numbers. There is power in our unity that you, with all your might, cannot hope to understand. And most importantly, we are humble. We know that we are not the strongest, the biggest, or the best. We know that we need to work together to survive." The lion looked at the ants, at their busy colony, and for the first time, he saw the truth in their words. He had spent his life alone, believing he was better than everyone else, and he had missed out on the strength that came from friendship and teamwork. He had been so focused on being the strongest that he had forgotten the value of humility. The lion sighed. "I suppose I could learn a thing or two from you, little ant. How about this? I will work with you for a day, and in return, you will have to do something for me." The little ant smiled. "It's a deal, mighty lion. Now let's get to work." And so the lion spent the day working with the ants. He helped them move rocks, carry water, and defend their colony against invaders. He was amazed at their strength and agility, and he learned the value of teamwork and humility. By the end of the day, the lion was exhausted, but he felt like he had accomplished something truly special. When the day was over, the little ant approached the lion. "Well, mighty lion, you kept your end of the bargain. Now it's my turn. What do you want from me?" The lion thought for a moment. "I want you to remind me of today. I want you to be a reminder of what I learned. So I want you to climb on my back and ride on my mane whenever I walk through the jungle. That way, every time I see you, I will remember the day I learned about teamwork, humility, and the strength that comes from being part of something bigger than oneself." The little ant smiled. "It's a deal. Mighty lion, just call me when you need a reminder." And with that, the little ant climbed on the lion's back and settled in his mane. From that day on, the lion was a changed animal. He was still proud, but he was also humble. He respected the ants and all the other animals in the jungle. And whenever he felt his pride getting out of hand, he would look at the little ant on his back and remember the day he learned the true meaning of strength. The ants, too, were proud of their little friend. They had shown the mighty lion that size doesn't matter. What truly matters is what's inside. As the sun set over the jungle, casting long shadows on the ground, the lion walked back to his den. The little ant perched on his mane like a furry jester. The other animals watched him, a mixture of awe and envy in their eyes. To be able to stand up to the mighty lion and then befriend him was a feat not to be envied. Inside the den, the lion's pride gathered around, their eyes wide with wonder as they listened to their leader's tale of the day's adventure. The little ant, sitting atop the lion's head, added his own commentary, his voice ringing with pride. Each word he uttered was met with gasps and murmurs of disbelief. No one, including the lionesses, had ever imagined that the tiny ants could hold such power over their mighty leader. The lion, his voice deep and resonant, told them of the ants' unwavering unity, their remarkable strength, and their quiet courage. He described how these seemingly insignificant creatures had managed to not only withstand the pressure of his immense paws, but had also managed to teach him valuable lessons in humility and teamwork. As the lion finished his tale, a hush fell over the pride. The little ant, sensing the gravity of the moment, jumped down from the lion's mane and stood on the ground, looking up at the awestruck faces of the lion. "Remember this day," he said, his voice echoing in the silent din, "for it is a testament to the strength of unity. Do not judge others by their size, for it is what is inside that truly counts." The lionesses, moved by the ant's words, slowly began to stir. They looked at each other, understanding dawning in their eyes. They realized that their strength lay not just in their sharp claws and powerful jaws, but in their ability to work together. Outside, the wind rustled through the tall grasses, carrying with it the sound of crickets and the distant roar of another lion. Inside the den, however, there was silence. Each lioness was lost in thought, contemplating the lessons of the day. Finally, the lioness, who had been the most skeptical of the ants, spoke up. Her voice, though hesitant at first, soon grew in strength. "We have much to discuss, much to improve upon. From tomorrow, we will start anew, working together, supporting each other. Our cubs will grow up knowing that they are not alone, that they have a pride that will stand by them, no matter what." And so, under the watchful gaze of the moon, the lionesses pledged to change. They promised to honor the memory of the day the ants had taught them a valuable lesson. As the night wore on and the first rays of dawn began to peek over the horizon, the lion pride left the den, ready to face the new day with newfound determination. The lion walked at the head of the pride, his steps lighter, his eyes shining with a new resolve. Behind him, the lionesses walked shoulder to shoulder, their cubs nestled between them, their voices raised in a chorus of unity. And on the lion's mane sat the little ant, watching over them, a silent guardian, a reminder of the day the pride learned that true strength lay not in might, but in unity.